kids are in bed?
Kids are in bed.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 15 of The Kids Are in Bed. I'm Tim Severson, and this is Jenny Severson. Jenny, how you doing?
I'm good, Tim. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
It's a busy day. We had a musical performance at the kids' school, which thankfully was only the second grade class.
Okay, question number 1. Why was it called a musical program?
Yeah.
Why isn't it just called a concert? That was confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Question 2, point 2, longest 30 minutes of my life.
Yeah. It really did. It really did drag on.
I was like, oh, it's only 30 minutes. That's pretty short.
Yeah.
And 5 minutes in, I was like, this is far too long.
Yes. Yes. So that was fun. And then I went and watched the Twins get beat by the Yankees. It's really, I was thinking about it on the drive back tonight. It's really our fault for talking about how good Minnesota sports were doing.
Well, you know,
And
peaks
here-
and valleys, peaks and valleys.
Yes. Yes. Back to the familiar lush valleys of Loserville, USA.
Well, did you have fun?
I did have fun. We had great seats. Jude did his best to try to get his hands on a ball, but you know how that goes.
Yeah. I had a 90-second interaction with him when he got home because I was trying to take Clementine to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And what he told me was that he was calling the player's name.
Carlos Santana.
Oh, he didn't say that's who it was.
Yeah.
Oh.
He knew it was Carlos.
He said that he was calling his name repeatedly, and he goes, and we made eye contact.
They did. I think our problem was we were too close to the net. We actually needed to be back a few rows, and he would have had a better chance.
Oh, your seats were too
Well,
close.
I didn't pay for them. Once again, I don't pay for these great seats I get. They're always free. But it was very fun. Despite the loss, weather was great. Anything new with you that you would like to share with the class?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
New with me?
You're wearing glasses. Don't look that way. Glares.
Oh, sorry. I am wearing glasses.
Is this really the first time you've worn glasses?
On the podcast?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I usually have my contacts
I know
in.
not in your life.
Oh, yeah.
We live together, right?
Yeah. No, listen.
Is this a new look?
It is. Listen, I am stretching out these contacts that I have. They are garbage.
Back to the good old days
Yeah.
of the contacts, because you couldn't wear contacts for a long time.
Yeah, for several years. I could. I chose not to.
You had
I had these scleral lenses.
Yeah.
This is boring, but they are these weird lenses that you have to put liquid inside of.
Yeah.
So the liquid is like in between your eye and the lens. And I would just be walking around and like bubbles would like pop up.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like underwater. It was it wasn't neat at all. It was the worst. I hated it. So I stopped wearing them because I hated it. And then I just wore glasses for several years.
You used to rock your contacts for a long time without taking them out, didn't you?
No? Never.
Never.
That's somebody
else.
I am a gas perm baby. So
Gas perm, baby!
I just have had a whole different experience.
Sure.
So I've never been someone I don't sleep in them. No way. Mm-mm. Never.
Oh.
No. Bad for your eyes. But anyways, I need to go to the eye doctor. They don't give you corrective lenses as a callback to last week unless you go in regularly.
Yeah.
Because they can't just prescribe you incorrect prescriptions. So if you don't go back, they won't give you more contacts. So I got to go to the doctor so I can get more contacts.
Sure.
Yeah, it's super annoying.
Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Anyways, my contacts are so janky and basically trash, but I keep putting them in my eyeballs. And tonight I was just like, I got to get these suckers out.
Good.
Yeah. Thanks
All
for
right.
asking me a lot of really intense questions about contacts. Contacts. Check them out or don't.
Well, let's jump into our year this week, 2001.
2001.
2001, everybody remembers, so we'll just get it out of the way. or I hope everybody remembers, because never forget.
Where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day? It's not funny. Sorry.
Well,
I feel like we shouldn't be laughing.
We're not laughing at the context of the song or what it's about, but it's, it's such pandering.
It is. A lot.
I remember the first time I heard that song, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And I was 16.
Yeah.
So where were you on September 11th?
Well, I was in school.
When it went down.
I was in 10th grade, pre-AP English class.
Gotcha.
Mr. Sparks' class. Wasn't I? I thought that's where I was.
Were you?
Was I somewhere else? That's what I've been saying for 20 years. Was that not where I was?
Oh, yeah. I'm getting the thing, the bridge, the harvest is screwing me up once again.
Damn that harvest.
The harvest, yes.
Yeah.
No.
I started 2001 in 9th grade.
Yes.
But September 11th, I was in 10th grade.
In 10th grade,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were a Mr. And how did you get alerted to the fact that it happened?
Another teacher came in the room.
Yeah.
Was there like
Would have been Peterson, maybe?
I can't remember.
He was U.S. history. He was right down the hall, like right around the corner.
Another teacher walked in the room with great purpose. I wouldn't say panic, but great purpose. And just said to turn the TV on.
Yeah.
And it was like, what's happening? What's going on?
Yeah.
And then we turned the TV on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like exactly me, except for I was in AP biology, Miss Harmer. And it was the physics teacher who I never took physics in high school. Or ever in my life, actually. I don't know why I said high school. I've never taken physics. But same thing. Came in out of nowhere. And he was like kind of a character kind of a teacher, funny. And so he came in and was just like, a plane flew into the World Trade Center and just hit the power button and walked out. And so we all kind of laughed because it was kind of like you said, with purpose, and then just And then I heard plane.
Maybe it's the same guy who came in my room. Right. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he just made the rounds.
Just walking around the whole school. Turned on TVs everywhere he goes. This is it. This is the moment. I've been training for this.
But I remember thinking when I heard that, I thought like a single engine prop plane. Mm-hmm. And then the TV came on and it was like, wow, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember what the one thing I remember when I saw it and I saw that go down, I knew immediately. I repeated to myself over and over again, AP Biology, Mrs. Harmer, AP Biology, Mrs. Harmer. And I was like, I know this is going to be a thing.
Interesting.
But then I don't remember, did we just sit in the room and watch? Mm-hmm. Because I remember seeing the second plane hit. I know I saw that.
Oh, I don't remember seeing that. I know there was like a lot of confusion about like what was supposed to be happening and if we were supposed to be like locked down in the school or if we were supposed to be like being sent home. Like it was like what's supposed to happen with the day.
Yeah.
And then all the after school extracurricular activities were canceled.
Was canceled. It was a very strange vibe in school because it was like a free day. And so I remember being aware, like everybody's like trying to be very low key about being happy about,
my gosh,
about not having to,
I don't remember
like,
that.
Because, I mean, you had a homework assignment due and you didn't do it and you were, all those things.
Yeah.
Like you can't avoid that emotion, especially over the course of an entire day.
It was first thing in the morning. Yeah. Right? Like, it was first period. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like class was, I think we were done with like morning announcements and whatever else went on. And it was like class had started and then immediately stopped.
Yeah.
So that's it's like, it's interesting how it's almost like that's a generational thing to have that.
It totally is.
Because
like JFK.
Yeah. And then before that, would it have been Pearl Harbor? You'd be like, where were you when Pearl Harbor? Maybe not. Because like a lot of the people would be like, oh, I was in France, Germany, or, we were at war already.
Yeah.
Not really the same thing, but.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of those, I feel like, as a generation.
Have we?
Yeah. Lots of bummer stuff has happened over the course of...
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something else then.
Yeah, we're going to move on.
A real bummer.
We're going to move on. Let's... Enough 9/11 talk in May.
Okay, but speaking of bummer.
Yeah.
That same class that I was in, Mr. Sparks, pre-AP English class, I had a report I had to do, or some sort of speech or report or something about an author or a poet or something. And I chose Sylvia Plath, which couldn't recite a single Sylvia Plath poem to you. But you had to have a prop for your presentation.
Well, you went oven, certainly.
And I delivered my speech/presentation to my class inside of a homemade cardboard box oven. like the oven door was open and my face was just there while I read my report. And I'm certain I got an A.
Oh,
probably an A+.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did that pass? Like, what? How is that an okay thing to do?
Yeah, well, I mean, she's very famous for the way she killed herself.
The only commentary I remember my teacher having was that my oven wasn't gas. He's like, because like the way I had made it was like the oven at my house.
Yeah.
And he was like, nice job, but I'm pretty sure that's the wrong kind of appliance. I was just like... So anyways, that's a bummer.
What a weird observation. You really couldn't kill yourself with that, right?
Yeah. Oh, somebody definitely said that. I swear. I don't know if it was a teacher or a student, but...
Did you say, yeah, throw some water on me, see what happens?
Oh.
Not because you're a witch, because of the electricity.
I definitely thought you were going witch, so I was processing that. So great, thanks. I'm glad
you were. I could tell. There was enough blinks, and I'm like, she's thinking about witches right now.
Like,
and I was
witch?
referencing in the electric stove or oven or whatever that is going on.
Well, anyways, major bummer.
Well, wow. I mean, we are off to a hot start. That is 2 memories in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Good
you
job.
told me to study.
Good
study
job.
my brain cells.
Do you remember? Did you study what you were supposed to study?
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah. No.
I don't got a lot.
Okay. We'll move on from that then. I won't force you on that. So we had 9/11. That was also the year that Wikipedia launched.
Oh, thank goodness.
I have to admit, I got into the Wikipedia game so late because I always I think I heard all the stories about stuff that was incorrect. Mm-hmm. So I stayed away from it because I just assumed that I'd get tricked by things.
Yeah.
So I didn't really start using Wikipedia until later in life. Now I use it all the time.
Yeah.
There are people who are addicted to it.
I have spent some entire nights in my bed just diving down Wikipedia rabbit holes for hours.
There are videos.
Hours.
I think there might even be competitions. It's kind of like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but people will show off connecting to people through Wikipedia links.
Mm.
So it's like a challenge, and then you go, okay, but you have to know. It's not just knowing Wikipedia. It's you have to be pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah. It's
actually pretty fun to watch.
I definitely play that game with myself on IMDb.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Where
Yeah, we've played that game before.
Yeah. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
So I never bought into the Wikipedia is fake. Ever. I was like, listen, somebody smarter than me took the time to fill this out. I'm going to trust in them. And I don't think there's a ton of incorrect information on there.
Ooh.
I'm going to say it.
Okay.
Because it's not, well, number one, it's not that hard to research something outside of Wikipedia. I mean, you just read something outlandish and you're like, that doesn't seem right.
Not everybody's
and
really
two
good at
Google searches later, you have the correct answer. So
I don't think many people go that far. That's kind of the problem with society today.
You have to view every single thing that you read as potentially false.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's the same as any other medium. Big fan. Big fan.
Well, that's why I have just started telling the kids everything on the internet is fake.
Yeah.
And now they're searching out real things and they like to prove me wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm winning still.
Yeah.
Like, this is exactly what I want you to do.
Yeah.
Is to not believe everything.
Yeah.
It's like, because then you grow up to be like their Uncle PJ who sees videos that are clearly fake and sends them like, can you believe this? And it's like, that is not real at all.
Yeah. Sometimes you think it might be nice to be like that though, right?
I wish I could
It would be
remember.
enjoyable.
There was one time where it was so clearly fake. And I was like, that's not real. You know that, right? And he goes, acoustically it matches. It's like, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
The sound effects were good.
Acoustically.
Yeah.
Was he at Jude's choir concert tonight?
Yeah. There was... Oh, no, not one other thing with Wikipedia. That's all I had to say about Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, big fan.
You are. That is... That's where your nerd comes out.
Oh, God. I just love the dive.
Yes.
The diving from page to page. You know where you can really go insane is crime.
Sure.
Like, all night long.
Breaking news. True crime is entertaining. You heard it here first.
Especially on Wikipedia. See, but because I can't watch true crime shit. I can't watch the documentaries.
Yeah.
Can't watch them. Can't handle it.
You know, there
So
are
I have
a million podcasts that...
Yeah, can't. Yeah. I don't know. There's just something about feeling like I am reading the information on my own rather than hearing somebody else persuade me in a direction.
Oh, those are the nights that you're like smoking a cigarette and drinking a black coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, she's on a murder
Yeah.
mystery tour right now. I gotta crack this case.
Yeah. Anytime I hear a voice,
The mayor's up my ass.
oh, God, assume that they're trying to convince me of something.
Sure.
And I'm just like, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to just find out about myself. So I like to see what documentaries are trending. Don't watch them. And just go read the entire Wikipedia page about that person.
Or have me watch them, and then I just give you a 15-minute synopsis of an entire docuseries.
That works too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving to movies.
Movies. Like them.
Watch
them.
There's some actually very good movies that came out in 2001. I highlighted a few that mattered to us. One, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I am so excited. Did you know there's a series coming out on HBO?
I'm not falling for this.
You're a wizard, Harry. I'm a what?
But that came out the first year. We had a family tradition. Well, as kids, we would get together with a few other families for Thanksgiving. And we would always, after Thanksgiving dinner, we'd always go to the movies. And so I feel like there was like a run of like, I don't know, they didn't all come out on Thanksgiving, but a lot of them came out Thanksgiving weekend, and we'd go see that.
Sure.
So I remember, because I think I watched the first two movies before I started reading the books.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
That was just where I was mentally.
Yeah.
I
I joined in on that tradition that you guys had. I feel like the first time I did that with you guys, we went to that M. Night Shyamalan movie with
The Village.
No, something with glass. It's got Samuel L. Jackson. Unbreakable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember watching that on Thanksgiving. It was an interesting tradition going to a movie on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Village. Sorry, I'm getting off of 2001, but we can talk about that. What year did that come out?
Well, The Village is not long in the future.
We'll get there.
We'll get to The Village. Lord of the Rings came out. I remember when we went and saw that in the theater because I left you in the theater because I got bored, which I love those movies now. And a couple months ago, watched The Fellowship of the Ring. And every time I watch it now, I'm always like, I don't know how I wasn't into it. But I just...
Were we with other people?
No, it was just you and me.
And
I got up and I said I was going to the bathroom and I went to the arcade because a buddy of mine worked at like the concession stand and we were just like hanging out and I was playing and I was gone for a long time and then came back.
I probably didn't even notice because I love those movies. It's like, finally, nobody's interrupting me.
Yeah.
I can eat my popcorn and Milk Duds in peace.
Oh, one thing that I didn't put on the list... but today I was going through, I have 2 boxes of notes. And so I was going through and I was like, oh, I wonder if I have any from 2001. And then I was like, I don't even know how I would know that. So I started organizing them by reading through them and placing the order of events. And I was trying to stitch it all together, which was very entertaining. But I read a note from you, and in one of them, you said, is Shallow Hal out yet? Or is Shallow Hal still out? I really want to see that.
Oh.
I don't think that speaks to your taste in movies. I think that speaks to the number of movies we saw.
Yeah.
Because Shallow Hal is pretty deep on the box office list. That was a pretty deep cut for us. But so I did find one. But there's nothing. What's so funny about those notes is there's really nothing to share.
So boring.
They're
nothing of interest.
I think what I found most interesting about reading them is there's nothing really negative. There's a lot of negative from girls against other girls in the notes.
Yeah.
But there's never any...
Have you seen Mean Girls?
There's never any, like, I don't know, every note I had, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I was just friend-zoned up with a lot of girls, but a lot of hotties, a lot of sweeties, a lot of love yous, a lot of things like that. They're all very pleasant, but they all started the same way. Hey, how are you? I'm fine.
Thanks for asking.
Such a great way to start a letter. And like for yours, I said this, no matter how long your note was, whether it was a quarter of a page or 2.5 pages, it was like there were just these traditions of things that you had to do. And so it was like, sorry so short, sorry so sloppy, right back. And we must have had a thing where we kept like taking, because it was always like just WB. And then it was like WB ASAP. And then you had one where you had a run of just initials. And I was trying to piece it together, but there must have been some inside jokes that I've forgotten. Because I'm like, what is that? So, but Shallow Hal. So I think we went and saw that. That movie is
sounds like we did.
Awful. Really relatable from
not
Gwyneth
a lot
Paltrow.
real good to say about that one. Yeah.
Shrek we just watched with the kids. came out.
Oh my God.
And it holds up.
That was the best day ever. Okay, so we used to do this all the time before we had kids.
Yeah.
Where we would just sit on the couch all day Sunday and do nothing.
Right.
There was a period of time where we would have Chipotle for lunch
Yep.
and Domino's for dinner.
Or vice versa, depending on when we had the most energy to venture the 1.5 mile drive to Chipotle.
This was before they delivered. And that's all we did every Sunday for, I don't know, like a year. A long time. More than a year? 2 years?
Yeah.
3 years?
Is a decade a year?
A decade? Oh my God. Well, that's what we used to do on Sundays before we had kids. But obviously, since we've had kids, you can't just sit and watch TV all day.
No.
I mean, well, number one, screen time. Hello.
Right.
Got to cap that. But two, they're just going to get bored.
Yeah.
And this was like 3 weeks ago. We decided, like, maybe we went out the night before.
Maybe. But it was rainy, windy day.
Yeah. It was just not a good day.
We'd just been to Sky Zone. I mean, it was...
Yeah.
How many ways can we spend money to go entertain?
Let's not do anything today. Let's just stay at home.
All the justifications we can make to just say what we're about to say.
Yeah. So we watched all 4 Shrek movies as a family.
Back to back
in
to
one
back
day.
to back.
We didn't have Chipotle, but we did have pizza.
Yes, we did have pizza.
We built a fort in the living room so the kids could watch the movies in the fort.
Lots of popcorn, lots of movie treats.
And just sat on the couch for 4 straight Shrek movies. And it was delightful.
It was. Yeah. They hold up.
And that day, this was just like 2-3 weeks ago, I found out they're making another Shrek movie.
Yeah.
I know I'm not supposed to talk about the future. I get really upset when I talk about the future on these episodes.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for this Shrek 5.
Yeah. Maybe a revival is possible. They did kind of decline a little bit.
Shrek 4 is good, actually. Total, like, full disclosure.
Oh, yeah. Shrek 4 was the Rumpelstiltskin one.
We watched it tonight while you were at the Twins game. Me and Clementine and Izzy.
Funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
It's good. I like it. And that was like the whole launch of DreamWorks animation. I think they had like some stuff before, but they were not on the map at all. Yeah. And that like that film basically like launched that studio.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be Chris Farley.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure there are takes that exist from his version of it.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard them.
Nothing like a fire and a noble romantic mission to warm the cockles of your heart.
Yeah. I like my cockles room temperature, thank you very much.
Yeah.
But I do remember, that Mike Myers had to redo the whole thing.
Yeah.
And did you know he also redid it then again with a new accent?
Oh.
The first time he did it. So I think Chris Farley was done.
Yeah, and he didn't do an accent. There was no accent.
And then Mike Myers, they redid the whole thing with Mike Myers. And then after they were done, Mike Myers decided that he wanted to do the Scottish accent. And so then they spent like millions of dollars so he could redo the entire thing with his accent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Ocean's 11 came out that year.
Nice. Very good.
That movie the first time. What a ride. You know?
What's going on with all these Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Shrek,
Yeah.
Ocean's 11? These are all like the launch of like series.
Yeah. You know, it wasn't Pearl Harbor.
Ugh.
I walked out of that movie too. And that one I did not go back into.
I kind of liked Pearl Harbor.
I know you did.
Well, I mean, I was a high school girl when it came out. It was made for high school girls.
Yeah. It's just a terrible movie.
It's not great.
His Pearl Harbor sucked, and I miss you.
It's a terrible
We watched it in U.S. history class. I kid you not. We watched it in school.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure that teacher got like teacher of the year too.
God damn.
Whoops a daisy.
Just a terrible, terrible movie. Yeah. That's
Pretty
all
people. Pretty people.
Pretty people, right.
Yeah.
Josh
Same things
Hartnett.
with Ocean's 11.
Josh Hartnett, Ben Affleck, and who was the...
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah,
Jennifer Garner's in that.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's got
Cuba
a lot,
Gooding
a
Jr.?
lot of pretty people. Yeah.
Yeah, just awful. I remember being very excited for it, and then I was just like, what is happening?
This is no good. There were a lot of pretty people in Ocean's 11 too. And you know, I'm sure he probably did this before Ocean's 11, but you know, Brad Pitt, his character always is eating. Mm-hmm. And the first time I ever noticed it was in Ocean's 11.
Yeah, I think it was because it was so prominent that everybody noticed it. So then everybody started asking, and like, because it seemed like it was a character thing. It seemed like.
Yeah.
It seemed disjointed because it's like, why is he eating all the time? Like, why? Mm-hmm. It seems like there's something we need to know. Yeah. Kind of deal. Like, that's his thing. Yeah. And no, he was just hungry, which is awesome. It's the best answer.
Hungry.
I love that. I love that.
I'm just hungry. So much. Yeah. I like that movie when the two brothers, Casey Affleck, right? Isn't he playing brothers with the.
Yeah.
I think it's like, what is that guy's name from The Godfather? Isn't it his son?
Marlon Brando?
No.
Al Pacino?
Nope. Keep going.
Robert De Niro? Mm-mm. Robert Duvall?
Nope. No Roberts.
I
think it's like, I'm going to say it wrong. Can? It's like Caan.
Oh.
Caan?
Yeah, James Caan?
James Caan. Isn't that his son? Who?
Oh yeah, I think
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And I think they play brothers. Yeah. Casey Affleck and James Caan's son. Uh-huh. They're my two favorite.
Gotcha. That was a long trip.
Robert Duvall's niece is in that movie, and she is best friends with. I'm just kidding. I'm joking now. See, this is it's a joke. El joke. I'm sorry. I couldn't remember his name. They're my favorite part of the movie. The bickering, that bickering duo.
Got it. Mm-hmm. I like the way that they kind of treat Matt Damon like garbage the whole time. I like that dynamic. That's fun.
I don't really like that.
Okay.
I like Matt Damon.
I don't like your thing either, so.
It's just because it was too confusing. If I would have known
it really wasn't that confusing. Oh. It just took a long time.
Yeah.
But back to...
I still don't know his name.
Back to the series. American Pie 2 came out. I remember I went and saw that with my older brother and my brother-in-law. And it was the best thing.
What happens in that one?
That's when they go summer on the lake.
Oh.
So I invited someone else.
Oh yeah! It's the Vikings coming back to Great Horror! Get the hogs by my great balls! Wipe my ass and lick my balls! It's this my time, baby!
And they're all alone.
Mm-hmm. They're like painting houses or something.
I was thinking about this too on my drive back from the Twins game. It's in terms of sequels, American Pie 2 is a good sequel. They didn't really try super hard. Mm-hmm. When we talked about the first one, you had mentioned in the third one,
Stifler eats dog shit.
Sean William Scott is kind of turned up to 11 in that one. This one he's turned up a little bit, but it's pretty much just the same movie in a different setting, and it's exactly what you wanted back then when you're just like, just give me more of all those jokes.
Is 2001 the year your brother got married?
No.
Oh.
Which brother?
I thought you guys went to go see that movie on like the wedding weekend.
Maybe it was. Maybe when PJ got married?
Yeah.
It might have been.
I remember that
Yeah.
being like, you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
were so excited to go to that movie because then you were going to have
Yeah.
your sister
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, you guys are going to have all these one-liners.
That makes sense. Yeah, because my brother-in-law was in town. So, yeah.
That was a fun night.
That was a wedding.
That was such a fun night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were just polishing off bottles of wine by yourself at tables, just walking to random tables and picking up bottles of wine and finishing them. And you were 15.
Yeah. Whoops.
I jumped into the pool in my tuxedo. And
So many more things.
a lot of other things
Yeah.
that cannot be repeated happened that night. But it was, that was a wild night. My brother-in-law walked you around the house for some reason.
Well, because I was only 15.
Yeah.
And
He was trying to run interference and let you get in the
Yeah.
car without having to.
my mom and dad, so they had to come pick me up. So they both came together,
Yep.
which was very interesting. I wonder why they did that. But they came together to come pick me up. And he decided that instead of letting them get out of the car, like he was going to be in charge.
Yeah.
But he was in a towel.
Yeah, by the time they showed, because it was an afternoon wedding, but by the time they showed up, it was dark, and it was August.
Yeah.
So it had been a while. It wasn't a wedding anymore back then.
Yeah, it was just a party.
When you were getting picked up, it was a full on rager at that point.
So that I actually think that might have been my first time like drinking, because
Me too.
No, I'm being serious.
I know you are.
I don't think I had
No.
really drank before that.
No.
And
you were 15. You had just turned 15.
Yeah. Because I remember like being so chatty because we lived like 20 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
So I was so chatty in the car ride
Sure.
on the way home, and my parents thought it was funny, which was like not anticipated. Right. I was like thinking that this was going to go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And then I remember in the morning talking to my mom, and she was like asking me how I was doing. And I was like, pretty good, but I woke up in the middle of the night and I was just like really thirsty. She was just like laughing at me, but trying to, be cool, not like laugh in my face.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a nice kind of moment for me because I thought my parents would be mad at me.
Right.
And instead they just kind of were cool about it.
There wasn't, there couldn't have been a more innocent setting,
Yeah.
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 Lots of doctors around. It was safe.
I was going to say the average age of the attendees was over 50.
Yes. Yes. That's true. That is very true. Yeah, that was a God, man, you are on fire for memories.
Yeah. I think we found
We're getting our footing here.
Yeah. 20 it's just like in basketball. I prefer it's 20 it's a number
Right.
that
100%. I get it. Moulin Rouge came out that year.
Oh. I love Moulin Rouge. I love Moulin Rouge.
We have a great Moulin Rouge story. Do we save it for the year of that story?
Do you know what year that was?
No, but I could figure it out.
Oh, well, I feel like you should just tell
Yeah.
it.
So we love Moulin Rouge.
Love Moulin Rouge.
We've liked it since it came out.
Since it came out.
And then it faded away from our lives. And then it came back in college. We would sing it.
Because of our friend Jason.
Yes.
He
Jason
was part of the revival. He was the revival.
Also loved it. And we would just it's so funny. We would just round each other up.
Yeah.
And we would just take breaks from parties and just go up into his room and we would sing show tunes.
We would leave the party to go sing show tunes in his bedroom.
It would go just like this. It would go, it would start, we would sing Skyrockets in Flight from Anchorman.
Yeah.
And then it would go into Moulin Rouge and it would be the
Elephant Love Song.
Elephant Love Melody. And then
or Love Melody.
Jim would sing Roxanne. He really liked Roxanne.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Come What May.
Yeah.
We would always finish on Come What May.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was Moulin Rouge.
Rent would make its way in there too.
Rent was later.
Oh.
Which, that one I think we can remember, our tradition with Rent.
Okay.
But then Moulin Rouge, turned into our thing that we would just sing to each other when we were drunk, and Rent as well. Mm-hmm. But there was one night we had friends over, it was New Year's Eve, and we were getting ready to go out. And it was like...
Who goes out on New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
What spring chickens we were.
Yeah, it was like 9:00, and we hadn't gone out yet, and it was snowing like crazy. And we called a cab, and our friends, Tony and Ashley, were over, and they had a dog who was a flight risk. And so we lived in this small townhouse that was a model of the neighborhood. And for some reason, somebody was like, we should put an intercom system in there. And it didn't need it. It was 1,500 square feet, and it was lofted. You could hear everybody doing everything at all times. And this night, everybody had gone upstairs to get ready, and I was the first one ready, and I went downstairs, and I continued drinking and turned on Moulin Rouge by myself, and I started singing it to you through the intercom, the Elephant Love Medley. And the
intercom, there was an intercom in our bedroom upstairs, like one side of the door, there was an intercom, and then on the other side of the door, there was another intercom.
The wires came together, went down. It was just so unnecessary.
Made no sense at all.
Yeah, but it was a whole.
But you were down in
the
kitchen.
Yeah, and it had a whole big FM radio panel, and you could answer the door with it, and it was the finest thing 1998 had to offer in home technology.
Yeah,
and we were singing it back and forth, which I was so amazed and so happy. I think I probably could have cried if I wanted to, because not only did you sing back, but you figured out how to do it without
we didn't really use that thing.
Call down and spoil the surprise. So we just start going back and forth and back and forth.
You were in the kitchen and I was up in the bedroom.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the song was just about over when there's a knock on the door. And I was like, nobody knocked on our door, let alone
nobody
at 9:00 on New Year's Eve.
No.
I'm like, what is going on? So I went. We had this neighbor who at one point was on house arrest and would just walk around with his ankle bracelet like he could not leave the property. And I remember one time another friend came over, and he was like lifting weights in his garage with the garage door open, and everybody was like, what's up with American Beauty over there? So anyways, we were not close, nor have we ever been close with any neighbors. The closest we've ever been is...
Won't do it.
The couple we lived Rose Vista next to. That's the closest we'll ever be to neighbors, listening to their arguments.
Yeah,
through the window,
that was just eavesdropping.
Yeah, right.
They don't know who we are.
Right. And he knocks on the door. I open it up. And I was just like, hi. And he goes, did you know that we can hear that outside? Now, who we is, him and his dog, I don't know. And I just go, no, sorry about that, and slam the door. And I start walking away.
Because there was an intercom
on the outside. So when we were doing it, we were also broadcasting our performance to our entire neighborhood if they happened to be outside at 9:00 on New Year's Eve. And it was snowing and probably 10 degrees.
I bet it sounded so
good.
bad.
So good.
This poor guy, he's just out for a stroll, and all of a sudden he hears the two most tone deaf people of all time singing through an intercom. Oh, what a way to ruin your New Year's.
So I shut the door, and I was getting ready to run up the stairs to come tell you about my interaction when there's another knock on the door. And I opened the door. I'm like, yeah. And I think I probably came off as irritated, but I'm like, what? I mean, I get it, but it's New Year's Eve. Calm down. He was like, did you know you let your dog out? And I was just like, oh, shit. Like, I forgot the dog was there, and I was certain I just lost the dog and the night was ruined. And then I could see is a puggle named Bella, and I could see her bounding through. Luckily, the snow was deep, and I ran out in my socks just screaming, treat. Bella, treat, Bella, treat. Just running in circles in the yard in front of our neighbor. He's just like, what the fuck is going on? But I got her back.
You did.
And we went out, and it was mediocre at best.
You saved the dog.
I
that
saved
was
the
all
dog,
that
yes.
mattered.
It's true. It's true. I'm a hero, really, when you think about it. Very little.
I don't need to think about it. I know. Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge.
Real good.
Real good. Nicole Kidman. So good. It's a very good movie. Very good. The Others was another one. I don't have a specific reason except for I can remember seeing it with you.
I like that movie.
That movie had a good twist.
Yeah, that twist got me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't even enjoy movies because I'm so busy trying to think about what is going to happen.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy movies that I just can't even do that with, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't know what's going to happen here, so I'm just going to like sit back and watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this how normal people watch movies? They just like sit back and watch what's happening?
Yeah, that's what I do.
So that's why I really like time travel and space, because I just sit back and watch what's happening. That's absolutely what happened with The Others. I just sat and watched it, and I'm like, I wonder what's going on here. Never saw it coming. It was super fun.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Good stuff. Nicole Kidman. 2 in a row right there.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. What a year for Nicole.
Listen, every year is a good year for Nicole.
I think the year before she divorced Tom Cruise.
I don't know when that happened.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was 2000. She got out of there. Right in time.
In the nick of time.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Thank goodness, Nicole. TV, Friends was number 1.
Obvi.
And it was the first season of Scrubs.
All right. Nice.
Scrubs is a very good show.
So good.
Very underrated show, I feel like.
Or
is it
guy
rated?
love between two guys.
Best musical episode ever done by a television show.
Yeah, so good. Their best episode, though, is the episode where Perry's brother-in-law
Brendan Fraser
dies.
Yeah.
That's such a good episode of television. Just love it. Yeah, Scrubs is real good.
It's a good show.
You had the Scrubs theme song.
I'm no Superman. I'm no Superman.
As your MySpace.
I got made fun of by everybody that heard it, but I love that song.
Yeah, it's a good song. I
Check
also
it out.
love Sarah Chalk.
Yeah.
And I love that the Scrubs cast were all friends. Like Turk and JD are like real life.
They're
friends.
all still very. Yeah. They're all still very close.
So that makes it more fun.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. Very good show. For music this year, I gotta be honest about the music. I feel like music wasn't it for me this year.
Well, 2000 was the year. So.
Well, for you. For me, the year was 1999, especially when it comes to music. The number 1 was Hanging by a Moment by Lifehouse. Fallen by Alicia Keys.
Can't even place that song.
Yeah.
Can't even place it.
Drops of Jupiter is god awful.
I like that song.
Shut up.
You hate that song?
Oh,
Why?
I do not like that. I don't know. I don't like Train all that much.
Oh, well, no. No,
Yeah.
I don't like Train either, but I like that song.
I was definitely very much a Ja Rule guy in this stage of my life. This was 2001. I had my driver's license for a full year, so I was almost exclusively hip hop was played in my Chevy Blazer.
I mean, Shaggy is on this list.
Yeah,
It Wasn't Me. That
album,
is the song of 2001. I have decided. That's it. Nothing else is worth even talking about.
Jagged Edge, Where the Party At? Man.
Uncle Cracker. What in the world was Uncle Cracker all about?
He still tours.
That was a weird dude.
Somebody was just telling me about that. Yeah, he still tours.
It's a weird dude.
Still going. I just saw Peaches and Cream, but that made me think of, we were listening to this because I had 90s on 9 on Sirius XM on when we were driving. Is it Real Close, that song?
Oh, yes. That song is inappropriate.
It starts with, I wonder if she can tell I'm hard right now.
So inappropriate. We danced to that at YMCA dances.
We sure did.
That song is inappropriate.
Baby, when we're grinding,
no good.
I get so excited.
I was so uncomfortable listening to that in the car with our children.
I try, but I can't fight it.
Nope.
Okay.
Shouldn't be played. Inappropriate.
Nelly was big right now, too, and the St. Lunatics. That was all going down. That was good stuff. Man. There's some good, but it was a turn of a year. Like, there was that weird, like this was like Stained, right? It's been a while since I could hold my head up high.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was good. Good.
That's another I Know Bedot podcast reference, which that episode came out on Monday.
Look at this guy over here. It's my other brother from another mother. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on the podcast in a long time. It's been a while. Yes. Please welcome Tim Talks himself, Mr. Tim Severson.
Oh, yeah, I listened
Talking about the League of the Extraordinary Gentlemen, or League of Extraordinary
Listen, you three made me want to watch that movie.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I will watch that movie now.
All right.
It was, I'm very interested.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I Know Bedot podcast. Check it out. Or don't. Not if you're going to leave this. Don't go now. Later. When you finish this episode.
Speaking of other podcasts, September 11th.
Oh, good. We're going to lighten things back up.
No, sorry. Our friend Mike Box
Elder.
His podcast.
Box Angeles.
Box Angeles. That's hard for me to say. I don't know why. Box Angeles. We were in class together when the whole World Trade Center thing happened. So, is this not a good story?
I don't know. Where's it going? Is that it? I was worried that was going to be it again. We're taking real long walks for a very...
What's happening?
Yes. Mike Elder has a podcast.
Uh-huh.
You had class together.
Yeah.
And you were in the same class for 9/11.
We were talking about our memories. Don't get me talking about my memories if you don't want to hear about them. Listen, you have to walk this line. Either you care about my memories or you don't. You're going to have to decide.
Fine. Destiny's Child was still crushing it. Mm-hmm. Independent Women.
Mm-hmm. Survivor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were all over the place. Usher was still... Usher has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Man.
He sure has.
Super Bowl.
He should.
Yeah, but I don't know. Lady Marmalade. Song I played out. I was a big fan of the movie, obviously. But I can remember... for some reason, my memory is always listening to it when I was leaving golf that spring. I don't know. Just like that was the song. It must have just been really popular at that time, so that's just where I associate it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
there's some good stuff. There was some good stuff. I got to say though, I'm still 99 on the pop culture stuff.
That's where you're at. Yeah. 99.
So, but I would say. So my ranking is 99.
We got to rank every single year? Jiminy Christmas.
This is what I was talking about last week. Okay. Because we split. And I said, what do we do if we split? And you go, it doesn't matter. We just keep going. Mm-hmm. So I'm going 99, 2001, 2000. 2001's at the bottom for me right now.
2001.
That's your new number one. Wow. This is all you're going to do? Just rank the next year.
Well, maybe. But listen to these movies.
Yeah.
I couldn't even find a favorite movie in 2000.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this was a better year for movies.
This launched.
'Cause we didn't-
This year launched Harry Potter,
Yep.
Ocean's 11, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I feel like there was another one. What was it?
Shrek.
Shrek. Look at all these franchises.
Yeah.
Just launched in 2001.
Rush Hour 2 came out that year.
Oh, yeah, you can take that one out. I'm just saying. But it's
Yeah.
really Harry Potter for me. Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
The beginning of just years of enjoyment. Years of enjoyment.
I have two parting thoughts, and then we'll wrap this one up. One is The Fast and the Furious also started.
It did.
And I can remember when we left, because it was in whatever the small theater was, when there was
Westport.
Westport,
Something West.
the West. Mm-hmm. They only had the 3, and that's where we saw that. And I remember getting out of that movie and listening to everybody start their shitty cars and rev their engines. Oh, yeah.
That did not happen.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
What a bunch of
Everybody-
losers.
Oh, I know. It was just awful.
What a bunch of losers.
Just awful. That, man, that movie really brought on some god-awful trends when it came to cars. The underglow stuff, all that. I'm
No good.
so glad I never got into that garbage. I wanted to just say, too, going back to the notes, I found it interesting. Oh, my God. I know nobody's going to be able to see the Twitch. But my goodness, that was quite the stifle. That took every ounce of your energy. No, I noticed when I was going through the notes that our notes stop before 2001. When I think it's probably
You moved schools.
Well, no, you were still writing me notes in spring. You were just passing them to me however you could.
Oh,
through
that's
dance
weird.
and things like that. Yeah, but they stopped as soon as we got cell phones because we could text, and so we didn't need to do that anymore. And we have a roommate now.
We do have a roommate now.
Our niece is staying with us for the summer, and she was walking through, and I had all the notes out because I was trying to get them organized, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I don't know, just going through all these old notes. I feel like there's probably something in here that'll spark some sort of idea. And then she made breakfast, and I was like, "Did you write notes?" And she was like, "No." And I'm like, "Not at all, huh?" "No." And I was like, "Yeah, I was thinking. I think cell phones stopped the note game."
Aww.
And it's kind of a weird thing because they don't matter. They're awful. There's not a lot of sentimental value in there. And I feel like the way that people wrote and the way we talked in the late 90s and early aughts, most people don't speak that way anymore. So that one was on this side, so we're going to be able to see it. Thank you. That's great. Good stuff. It's almost like it was on command. You're like Meryl Streep.
No, that's like a whole thing, though. Not like that. It's like having to sit through dial-up.
Yeah.
Having to folding notes was an entire art form.
Yeah.
Like, I had to put work in to learning all of those shapes.
Here, hold on. Let's just show off one. for those who might not the content, just the fold.
It was a lot of work. You had to really know what you were doing. And an entire generation just has no idea what we're talking about.
I'm back. So here, hold that. Closer to my mouth so I can talk into it.
Excuse me.
So you'll see here, we've got multiple folds, and then it comes apart like this. And
Are you going to be able to fold that back up again?
I don't even know if that's going to be in frame. And then a note
Aw.
in pencil, which I'm
Whoops.
sure you probably said, because I noticed a trend that when you write in pencil, you usually tell me about how you hate writing in pencil. Because usually this was a bad example only because it's not written in colorful pens and there's not hearts everywhere. But certainly it's...
OMG. That needs to never be seen by the public eye.
Okay. Well, that wasn't the intent. We were just showing off the fold.
It's so embarrassing.
Care to fold it back up
Oh,
for everybody?
God, I don't know if I can do it.
Oh, yeah, you can. I believe in you.
Yeah, so then, yeah, you really had to... Am I doing this right? Why do you say you believe in me? I did...
Oh, my goodness.
I can't. Okay, hold on. Okay, we're gonna go like this, and then we're gonna go like...
You gotta do the longer ones first. Like this.
This. Oh, got it. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
It is.
Now you're on
And then
track.
in each of the corners it says, I love you.
Yep.
OMG. OMG.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of those, but they are great. They're very what I actually found really cool about them is they're very honest. They're very vulnerable. Like people wrote things that were important to them and like serious. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was mixed in with jokes and different things, but there's a lot of insecurities that are laid out in there and people worried about different things, but they're very earnest. And it's all just because everybody was so bored in class that they would rather do anything. I mean, the amount of correspondence I have that were written exclusively during learning time. I mean, multiples I read. So-and-so is giving a presentation right now. And like one of them was like, they did a really good job.
Oh, that was so nice.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Aww.
there was a lot of really cool stuff in them. So it was very fun to read. So I would encourage any elder millennials out there, if you have your notes, give them a read.
Do you have to say elder millennial? Does millennial suffice? Why?
No, because we just covered why it doesn't.
Okay. I'm just fine with millennial things.
Okay. Well, the millennials born in the 90s don't have that experience.
Elder millennial, my ass.
The old. So that's 2001. You give it the number one ranking.
It's my number one.
I'll put it in a solid number 2 for me.
All right.
Should we go check on the kids?
Let's go check on the kids.
Thanks, everybody. See you next time.